I thought I was just exploring an old barn tucked away in the countryside, but what I found was far older, far grander, and almost entirely forgotten. This is the remains of a Tudor manor house, abandoned for almost a century, full of history and secrets waiting to be uncovered. Join me as we step through the shattered doorways, exploring the crumbling walls, and imagine the lives that once filled this place. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today you're joining me on a very wet, very windy day, a walk in the countryside. Literally under my nose, this barn, or what I thought was a barn, I thought I'd come and have a look at. And actually, as you can see, there's some very, very old bits of the structure here. And on the way out here this morning, I've done a little bit more research just to try and find out about this place. And it isn't just a barn. This building, or one of these buildings, dates back to possibly the 16th century. And there may have even been a medieval house here before that. As you can see, look, it does look old, apart from the breeze block facade that's inside that section and the new roof. Now this area, I believe, belongs to the Duke of Somerset. And as you know, with some of these dukes, they own a lot of land around the area, but they don't always look after the places that are on them. And from what I've read, this place was converted into 2 cottages many, many years ago. But apparently those cottages were vacated in the 1950s. It looks definitely like somebody has been up here and started to do some renovations, but they actually found some sort of plasterwork inside these buildings that dated back, I'd say, to the 16th century. I can see there has been work in this bit. You can see fairly new timbers on the floors above, which is quite interesting. But actually, these buildings are part of what they think used to be something rather grand. So perhaps a more stately sort of manor house many, many years ago. This looks quite interesting. I mean, this looks more like what the cattle would eat out of, perhaps. But some fairly new brickwork. Now, I did come out this way in about 2020, so around when the pandemic was going on, and just took some photos from one side of the building, but I didn't know the history of it back then. And like I say, although there isn't much of a history, certainly this has been here for a really long time. Look at these archways. How cool are those? Let's go and have a little look around the rest of the place. Now I can see over there, and that definitely looks like a barn. It looks like there was a doorway going through that at one point, because you can see a lintel above. And just to the right in the wall, there is another gateway doorway. But I'm going to walk up this way because it is chucking it down with rain. And I can see that I can just get into this one. There's no door, so we'll go and see if we can have a look in here. Oh my goodness me. Oh wow, look at this. Right, I'm going to change the camera settings to low light so you can see this, so bear with me. Right, okay, so you should be able to see that a little bit better now. Look at that for an old fireplace. I'm just going to show you around the old windows there. Beautiful stonework. Wow, what an incredible find. What a place. So as I say, there has been some interest from one of the heritage groups in the area. I think wants this to have a little bit more work because it is a listed building. But I can certainly say it doesn't look like there's much that's gone on here. We've got one of the old timbers for the floor above. That's incredible. How many years old is that? I mean, is that going to be 16th century? It's absolutely rotten on the ends, full of woodworm, but fantastic. And you can see some of the joists there. They've all got the carving on the side of them, which is great. They really had an attention to detail in the old days, not like the modern day houses anymore. But I can see, I'll try and show you, it has had a new roof probably in the last 10 years or so. But I'm in awe with these windows. Rather modern bit of glass in that one, but very, very cool. And over here, another fireplace. More of the timbers from the floors down there. All these old bottles kicking around. What a fantastic old building. Those windows, that's something else. I mean, it certainly needs some work doing, and I will take a guess that the front section of this building was all coming down, and that's why it's new. It's got the new breeze block sections in there, which is a shame. I mean, I can understand that they're trying to keep the building up, but it really takes away from the history of this place. But hey, maybe there's someone out there that's actually going to do something with this at some point. That's fantastic. As you can see, there's the other one up there. You can see this is some of the original stone from around one of the windows. You can see how it's been carved out. There is markings across the top and on that edge. Some capping stones there as well. Love it. And it's nice to get out of the rain just for 2 minutes. So I just noticed all this on the floor as well, which someone's been collecting up. Really interesting. I'll try and get in there and just show you some of this old pottery. There's a few old bottles here. I don't know how old those are going to be, but that's rather interesting. Bear with me if I can. That almost looks like maybe that was on a door. That's really nice as well. I'm no expert on old bottles or pottery, so if any of you watching know a little bit more about this and the kinds of things that we're looking at the moment, then yeah, please tell me. I mean, that's probably more modern, but let's see what this one says. Hot Looks like it says Hot Brook and Co. No. Hollowbrook and Co. Okay. There's one here I'm just going to have a look at. Not genuine. Some rather interesting ironwork there as well. Now, what would that have been for? It does look like parts of an old bed. Wow. How many years old would that bed have been? Oh, there's more down here. Shine my torch there. Interesting little bottles. Let's put them over with the others. Fantastic. And a lot of old slate there as well from the roof that got replaced a few years ago, I dare say. Can we see up the chimney? Not very easily, but yes. There we go. Nothing hidden in the chimney. There's little nooks and crannies. Yeah. Let's go and have a look outside. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to have a look in the top of that building, which is a shame, but I couldn't see any stairs or anything that might lead to it. There was a door the other side, but it's padlocked, closed, unfortunately. I might just have a look round this way. Right, this is going to take some climbing. You can see there was certainly a continuation of the building here, going all the way through, so maybe what is a barn now was more part of the building many years ago. What I want to do is try and get through this way to this doorway or gateway. Ow. Okay, not much to be seen from this side. Right, let's go back through. Okay, so I've managed to get through all the brambles, but as I was coming through in amongst all the debris, I just spotted this as well. If you can see that. Well, that weighs an absolute ton, but there's a little tube at the end of it. So was that for something electrical, or was that just to join the next section on? Would that have been part of an old pillar, or perhaps the base of a lamp? Yeah, quite interesting. Yeah, as I was telling you about earlier on, inside this barn. So that definitely would have gone through to the other side. Perhaps into another section of building that's no longer there. But there you go. What looked like an old barn on the maps It's definitely something more historic. What an absolute little gem of a find. Something so old out here that just no one else would even know it was here. Okay, I didn't expect that. There's a historic pond here. Now I can see walls lining the other side. Is this original to the house? I'll have to have a look on the old National Library of Scotland maps and see what we can see. See what we can find out for you. But yeah, that's quite interesting. There's a lot of stone walls everywhere around here, so even under these trees. The trees growing out of them. I'll keep exploring. You never know what else we're going to find down here. So yeah, just a short one this week, but thanks all for joining me. Hope you found that interesting. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you're new here, please think about subscribing for more things like this. And we'll see you in the next one.